Ling, transfer window is done and dusted. In particular, it was a busy day to say the least yesterday. How would you assess the window as a whole, first of all?
Yeah, first thing I want to do is just put out a few thank yous for that window yesterday, because doing 9 transactions in one day, it's, to the recruitment team of Dan McClune, Joe Austin and Steve Foster, and a special thank you to Lindsay Martin, who was running around like I don't know what to make sure everything got done. So there's a thank you go there. But the window, yeah, it has been hectic, and it was an hectic day yesterday. We felt that there was change needed, obviously, and we feel like we've had a positive change for the people that have come in, to the people that have gone out. We feel we've come out on the plus side, and that's the aim of the game.
Have you ever known a deadline day as busy as yesterday?
No, I've just said 9 deals yesterday, I think it was, and that's what you sometimes do in the summer. You know what I mean? You had people, on different floors of the building. We had people that were going to other football clubs, but we felt it was necessary. As I say, it was something that we knew was going to be like that, because we felt that we needed change, because the season started to drift, and we felt we needed some sort of positive impetus. And I think that the signings that we've made has given us that positive impetus going forward.
So it's 9 ins and outs, we think it was yesterday, but over the course of the month it was 9 ins for us. If we focus on the permanents first of all, so we had Will Forrester, James Morris, Dylan Levitt and Toby the goalkeeper. On the whole, there's a bit, if we put Toby to one side for now, but the outfield players all in their mid-20s, all on long-term contracts. Just what's the thinking behind all of that?
Yeah, look, I mean, to be honest with you, James Morris has been a target for over 6 months now. We tried to do it in the summer. It broke down right near the end from their side of things, and we've been patient and we've got it over the line. Dylan, again, not in the summer. I think Dylan has been on our radar for near enough 18 months. We tried to take him. Again, we was priced out of the market in terms of where he ended up going. So he's someone that come back round and available. And Will Forrester, I think everyone who see him in the games that he did play, is a quality player. So we've got 3 players right age, to go forward, and 3 players that we feel was going to massively improve what's happened so far this season.
Just how important is that age? Because obviously we have to think about them developing further here, and hopefully the club progressing with them, or potentially them moving on further down the line, although that's obviously not our first priority. And the gaffer's spoken about experience as well, but those 3 all come in at a very good age to both help us grow and help grow themselves.
Yeah, I think that we felt that that mid-20s range, and you look at all of their ages, there's growth in them, but there's also appearances behind the back of their name in terms of experience of playing at this level. So you don't feel like that you're teaching them about the game. You're teaching them about how you want the game to be played at Leyton Orient, which is a big difference. When you're fetching young loans in, they've got to learn how to play the game, and can they step forward and take their career forward. With these players, that's already guaranteed, because if you look at, they've all got nucleus of games behind them, and that for us, I think we need some more know-how on the pitch. We need some more legs on the pitch, and I think them 3 especially will provide both of them ingredients.
We'll come on to the loans in a minute. First off, the goalkeeping situation's been a real unique one, hasn't it? Just talk us through initially us staying patient to get Dan in, and then what happened, and then reacting off the back of that.
Yeah, I mean, people say, why didn't we sign a goalkeeper at the start of January? I've seen that be muted, and people say it's a good thing to say, but the people wasn't there, so that would improve us. So it's no good saying that let's go and sign a goalkeeper at the start of January. It didn't improve us. We finally got Dan, who we know was a big improvement, or an improvement of where we were. He gets injured in the warm up, and now you're back to where we started. So the solution that's been put in front of us, we've been watching Toby for a while. Always thought that Toby is a good goalkeeper. Toby's come here on a short-term contract. For me, he's here to prove that he is one of us as a permanent goalkeeper next year. Will Dennis is a totally different situation. That's come about because our relationship with Matt Harold at Bournemouth, who spoke to us about he's injured at this moment in time, but he's going to be fit for the Plymouth game and be with us next week. But people wouldn't have took a chance on that because we know Matt. We spoke to the medical people at Bournemouth. We know that this is a quality goalkeeper as well. So all depends on the department is then strong. You've still got Cahill behind. Let's not forget Killer in all this, because I think he's got to be seen as he's played 21 games this year. He came in as a number 2. We didn't expect him to be a number 1, and he's probably been overexposed. But the learning curve for Killer amongst this has been massive as well. So I think we've actually got 5 goalkeepers signed on our books at the moment, because obviously Dan Backman's still on. You've got Noah Phillips as well as a young goalkeeper. But the solution that we've come up with off the back of what happened, me and the gaffer were in the coach's room on Saturday, just having a chat. Or Dan's come in, it's going to, proper goalkeeper, senior goalkeeper, and then Keaton puts his head round the door and says he's done the injury. And then you get a situation like we did yesterday, where 2 of them signings wasn't needed up until 10-3 on Saturday. And then they are, and the solution we've come up with, I think, is a real positive solution in the time we had to come up with a solution. We're comfortable with it. Toby's trained this morning, and everyone's saying, visually how well he's looked and how he's an athletic goalkeeper. And Will Dennis is better than, let's be honest about it, Will Dennis is better. If a fit Will Dennis is not a League One goalkeeper. He's 10 times better than that. And if we get him and he's fit, we're very comfortable. We've got the trust of Matt and the physio people down with the injury, that he's on the grass at this moment in time, he's training this moment in time, he's just now needs to get match sharp and be ready for... Where it works quite well is that you've got that 10-day break after Saturday before we play Plymouth, and everything going right, he's going to be fit for that Plymouth game. So then it's a good bat between Killer, Toby and Will, so that we can tick that box, and hopefully by then we've got 3 quality goalkeepers off the back of 10-3 on Saturday, where it's like, wow, what do we do now?
And in terms of outfield loans, last season we obviously had incredible success with the loan players. It hasn't been as successful so far this season, I think we can be honest about that, but Favour's come in yesterday, and we've seen a snippet of Kalen and AJ so far. Just what do you think those guys are going to bring?
Look, it's no good trying to dress it up as anything different. The loans we had last season were all starters and all the big influence on the team. It hasn't worked like that with the loans, our first batch of loans this year. We've had 2 called back in terms of Alfie Lloyd gone back, and Man United taking Jack Morehouse back. But the quality of with loans, it's always, if you look at our loans throughout the period that I've been here, there's always hit and miss. There's going to be, because you're taking young players. Last year was phenomenal in terms of, Curry, Kelman. Who else we have? Come on. Keeley. You know what I mean? There's Donnelly. So you say them 4 names, they're the best 4 loans we've had over the last 9 years. So hence why we probably end up 6th in the league, because they then filtered into the squad we already had. It ain't worked like that this time. So far, we've gone down the route of 2 being called back, and we let 3 go back. So that allows us to fetch some new blood in terms of the ones that we've brought going forward. Favour is he's played the last 2 games for Stokes, come on as a sub twice in the last 2 games. He's a Newham boy, which is, it ain't just that I'm born in Newham that attracted me, but the fact is that he's coming home. When he come and signed his loan deal yesterday, he's had his mum, he had his brother, his sister, you know, and he's coming back, so he's moving home in comfortable. Sometimes when you fetch a young boy away from, you know, if it's his first loan, you're fetching him into unfamiliar circumstances, that's already set. He's going to go home, and his mum was like, oh, I got my little boy back. So that for us is perfect. I say he's come on in the last 2 games. He's exciting, you know. He's exciting. He's erratic sometimes because he's, you know, of the age where he's going to be erratic. But he's got real genuine pace, and I think that he's going to be someone that is going to have an influence between now and the end of the season. You're going to have to remind me the next loan. Who else have we got on loan?
Kaylin and AJ, who we've both seen bits of so far.
Yeah, I mean, AJ is one that, again, that's young. But we've always one that we liked. We've obviously got inside information from Dan McClune in terms of Millwall, so we feel he can be an influence. You know, probably, you know, we see him as a change, probably, you know, first change forward sub. That's what it was built up to be. But when we played 2 up top and he played, we had a good result. So I think he'll have influence going forward. And the other one is Caelan Casey. Yeah, like he's a quality footballer. Was out at a champ, didn't get enough pitch time at a champ, but he played enough pitch time for us. And you know, along with Dan Appy, you know, Will Forrester, you know, it's going to be Jack Simpson. It's going to be a battle there, but he's up for the battle, and you know, he's a good footballer because most people that come through the system there, but he's also a good defender. So yeah, I do feel the second run of loans have got more. Yeah, I'll put it now, and I think that, you know, they're going to be more successful in the first run, but that's probably easy to say because the first run wasn't successful. So we're happy with the change.
A couple of outgoings we'll go through. So first off, Zek Obiero to Tranmere and Phil Chinadu to Barnet. 2 big opportunities for those guys. Yeah,
look, they're 2 of our starlets that have been in our academy, come through our academy. Obviously, Zach's a couple of years older than Phil. Phil first. Phil's had a National League South loan, then a National League loan, and then a League 2 loan. As an 18-year-old, he's doing really, really well. He's played 2 games. He got left out of the last one. That's what's going to happen for him. But he's out there to learn. And Zach, it's just I think there ain't one person at this football club that don't think Zach's going to be a really good top player. But Zach needs to go and play 20 games because he got in the first team so young. He's never had that chance where he's got a nucleus of games. He's where he can go and learn his mistakes. He ain't done that in our first team. He don't play enough reserve or under 21 games. So it's a real big opportunity for that. You know, he's gone to Tranmere now. We expect him to be involved in the next 17 games or 18 games, what they've got left. And the reason Zach is there and Phil is there is to make them better players for us next season.
One more outgoing to go through, Omar. You know, an incredible servant for this football club over the last few years.
Yeah, you ain't going to get no other sentence come out of my mouth apart from class. You know, done everything that we ever asked of him and more for the period he was here. But Father Time catches up with everybody. You know, it did with me. I was retired at 34. I was 34 and a half, and he's gone on to a club in League 2 where he's got longer. And we just felt that in respect of him as well as a player, I think he could have been here as a bit part player and playing games and would make our squad better. But if he's your captain and then you turn him into, or you're going to play every now and then, I think it's not a nice place to be for him. So we talked to Omar. We expressed that if there was something out there that where he would go and get regular football, I think we were duty bound to let him go and do that regular football. And let's say that out of respect for him. It's always hard when you've done something so good, so well at a football club, and there comes a point where there's a question against you. Now, whether that question is wrong or right, we as a group of people judged that we felt we could do better if Omar went out with other players. But to make that happen we didn't want to disrespect Omar. So he's gone to Gillingham. He's signed I believe, a 2.5-year contract at Gillingham, which takes him to 37. I'm not saying he won't play till he's 37, but playing in League One till he was 37, I think would have been unlikely. Now, if he gets Gillingham up, he might prove us wrong. But we have to make calls, and sometimes they hurt because of what that person is and what that person has done. But sometimes the ones that are right have to be made, and we've made it. And I think everyone goes on decent terms. There ain't no animosity between for him or him. There may be a little bit for him, for us, because when someone tells you feel like you're getting towards the end of your career, you're not going to play us more regularly, that's an hard thing to hear. But yeah, there's been a solution. I think it's the right solution for Omar and for this football club.
And just lastly then, what's your message to the supporters ahead of the last 17, 18 games of the season? Yeah,
look, it ain't been good enough so far. I think Richie would sit here and say the same thing. We've been inconsistent. We've not won back-to-back games yet this season, so we have been inconsistent. But I've got a massive belief in what my coaching staff are and what Richie's about of getting football results. We've spun the wheel in terms of how we've done it because we felt we had to. But the one thing that we don't need in around this football club at this moment in time, from whether it's supporters, players, staff, is any negativity. We know we're in a dogfight. Accept the dogfight, because where we are in the league, it's no good to saying, "Oh, we everything's rosy in the garden." We're a point off the bottom four, and we all accept that. But what we also accept is that by this change and that fresh impetus and what Richie's about and what the coaching staff's about and what the football club's about, fans follow us down. Be with us. We need everybody, every single person. It's easy to be a good supporter or a good manager or a good director of football or a good media manager when things are going well. It's easy. That's the easiest place in the world to be. The real quality people show it when it's not going so well, and they're there for you when you need them. And we need them. We need these supporters. We need Richie and the staff to step up. We need the players to step up. We need the media team to step up. We need me to step up. That's what's got to happen. We're all together. But for me, yes, it was a stressful day, a real stressful day because of trying to get it. We got one of the deals went through at 6:57 and 30 seconds, 2.5 minutes to get the sheet in. And I say again, Lindsay Martin. But what Lindsay did, she stepped up yesterday and showed us what we're all about to get what we wanted. We've got what we wanted. It was close, but now we need everyone to pull together at this football club. And I've named the people it needs to be, and the supporters need to be right behind us as a club. Negativity is no good for anyone. It only drags people down.